Wrestling dads, listen up. We all want to be our kids' biggest support system in their sport, but sometimes we make mistakes that hurt their performance without even knowing. In this video, I'm going to break down some of those mistakes and how we can fix them. The first mistake I see is overcoaching your kid. Your kid needs to learn to wrestle on his own. There's going to be a time, whether you have a kid in youth, that he's going to be in high school with different coaches possibly, or he's going to go to college and he's not going to be there with you in his corner. He needs to learn to wrestle on his own. He wrestles every single day in the practice room on his own. Unless you're one of the crazy parents standing on the sideline trying to coach your kid while they're wrestling live, just let them wrestle. And so you being in the corner as a coach should not be like telling them exactly what to do at all times. If you see something, help them notice it and tell them to hit it, right? Maybe a single leg's open or something like that. And you can bring that to their attention like, hey, your single leg is open when you do this. Hit it then. But if you're like, do this, then do this, then do this, and you're telling them exactly how to wrestle a match, you're opening up no creativity for them whatsoever, and you're like making them wrestle how you want to wrestle rather than how they want to wrestle. Kids are creative, they learn new moves in practice, maybe they have a favorite move. Let them figure out how they flow together by themselves, and it's going to help them way later on in their career. And you're actually hurting them because you're not allowing them to be creative and do stuff on their own and make mistakes and then get better from those mistakes, right? Because you're just constantly telling them what to do. And when they don't have you there, eventually in the future, they're not going to know what to do. So don't tell them exactly what to do. Give them guidance, help them fix mistakes and stuff like that. But don't be this overbearing coach from the corner that's telling them exactly what to do every single second. Number two, stop living through your kid. I know parents try not to do this one and they say they don't do this one, but so many parents are living through their kid in, I never did this, so I want to push my kid so he can be better than me, which is great. They should be better than you. Definitely like teach them mistakes you learned and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's your kid's journey. It is his choice how good he wants to be. It is not your choice. It's not your journey anymore. Your career is over, or if you never had a career, then it's not yours. So you have to let them choose. And I know it's hard because at a young age, their brains are all over the place and they might not be focused all the time, or they might be inconsistent and stuff like that. But that is part of their journey. That is part of the mistakes that they'll have to learn. And you can help guide them. You can open doors for them. You can support them as much as possible and give them all the opportunities in the world. But at the end of the day, it's their wrestling journey. It's their life. And they need to choose how to live it, how they want to live it. So if you're pushing and pushing and pushing, it might just make them resent the sport more and resent you, right? Your relationship with your kid is a lot more important as a dad rather than coach or mentor. It's a lot more important as a dad. You're going to be a dad your entire life. You can only be a coach for a certain amount of time, and you're going to lose that title. So make sure that you have a good relationship with dad and not necessarily focus on everything coach. But it's not you. It's not your. I can't stress it enough that it's not your go in wrestling. Your go is over. This is the kid's path. Let him choose how he wants to do the path. Like I said, support him with the fullest intentions, right? But make sure that it's not coming from a place of, I didn't do this, so I want my kid to do it, right? If that's his goal, fine, drive him there. Right? Get him everything possible to become a state champ, national champ, whatever he wants. If it's not his goal, you have to realize that and you have to respect that. And last but not least, getting emotional in the corner or stands or after matches or on the car ride home or before matches, stuff like that. Your kid is going to feed off your energy. And so if you want your kid to be confident, you don't want your kid to be super nervous before matches. You don't want them to be anxious about winning or losing. You want them to focus on processes, not outcomes. You have to mimic that behavior and they'll mirror it. They learn from you, especially young kids. They're going to learn from your behavior. If you're super nervous or something before a match, they're going to get nervous. If you're yelling and screaming from the corner because your kid's getting worked up because he's losing a match, like they're in physical combat with each other. Like that is a whole lot to deal with as a little kid. And then to have your dad sitting in the corner screaming at you as well because, you're crying or you're not doing the greatest, man, that's going to wreck a kid. And so it's like you need to be their emotional support in the corner. When they look at you, it needs to be a rock of support and confidence so they can look at you and be like, okay, I do have it, right? I calm down. I can do this, right? Not look over to the corner and see this red-faced ogre yelling at them because they didn't hit the single leg that they just learned in practice and that they're losing the match by 12 against a kid that's way better than them. It's like, that's not helping anybody. So you have to be the emotional rock in the corner. And for any coaches listening, maybe you aren't dad, that's another good, advice for you is you're not there to scream at the kids and everything like that, especially after matches or during matches and stuff like that. Stay composed, stay as a coach, right? And then when they're ready, you can talk about their mistakes after matches. But yelling at a kid after a match, yelling at a kid during the match is just going to rile them up and get not what you want out of them. Now, there are some kids that feed off of that, right? They feed off of getting mad or whatever like that. So know your athlete, but for the most part, probably not the greatest idea. So to kind of wrap everything up, remember your dad before you were a coach. That relationship is a lot more important than coach. And then also, your kid is going to mirror your actions. So make sure that you're helping your kid do the best of their ability in what they want, not what you want. They're already feeling a lot of pressure from competition. And, we are in a physical sport where you go head to head, 1v1 with someone in a gladiator-like style. And so that's a hard thing to handle already. Just be a support system for them. And if you listen to this video, you might fix some of these mistakes.